Okay, I'm Sean. I'm the current ER deputy for the Kingdom. This slide right here has all of our resources. I've also posted this PowerPoint exactly already on the Ansteorra Exchequers page, but this one right here is the link that you can go to get any current reporting forms that society has put out. We are currently on Form H, so that's been fun. Going into the new report, your first page is your kind of how-to page. Please read that page in its entirety all the way to the bottom. A lot of questions that you might have for this form are in there already. This is just our Kingdom's reporting schedule of how we need to get everything done and when everything should be turned in. This is exactly what your regionals will need. Please, for the love of God, do not try and print your ledger from that form. You will print out 150 pages. You will run out of ink. Please don't do it. On your summary page, this is kind of like on the old report where you had your start number. Whatever your start number is for the year, please put that here. And then that will be a number that stays for the remainder of the year. On your summary page as well, up towards the top, you have what type of group you are, what kingdom, your state that you're in. This number here for reporting quarter, if you do not change it per quarters, it will mess up the report. So please make sure that you put on there what quarter you're in. One thing that Gwen would like for everybody to do when you put the name of your group, put a little dash or whatever separation you want to use. And what month is this report? This report is a quarterly report. However, we are reporting monthly. So please, for clarity purposes, put what month we are currently in. This is the next tab over. It's your Exchequers tab. This is for your information. And if you have a deputy, put your deputy's information in here so that your regional and your kingdom know who you are, how to contact you, and how to contact your deputy. Your financial committee. This tab right here will allow you to do two options. You can do, as I have right here, the Seneschal Exchequer and all paid members at a business meeting. Or the other option is you can put the Seneschal Exchequer and all others listed in your financial committee that'll be listed down here. Those are your only two options for this report. Okay, the outstanding items tab. This is for if you had anything going on last year. So December 31st, that's everything that you got. We're now in January. This is where your outstanding tabs go. Your asset detail, you owed someone money. This is last year's stuff. Most of the other tabs in this thing are for last year. Still on the asset details page, your group paid something last year, site fee, whatever you had that rolls over to next year, it goes on this tab. Again, last year's money. Still on the asset details page, any money that you expect to get back. So someone owes you money, i.e. your cash advances from your fee steward or something of that nature. Again, this is why we don't like anything written in December. I understand Yules happen. Yules get written in December. Things happen, but this is what this page is for. All right, so you opened an event, you have an event going on in January, you received your PayPal money in December. That's where this stuff goes. Liabilities page, you used it or received it last year, but not yet paid for. Hopefully no one has to use this portion of it. You owe taxes for last year. Hopefully no one's owing taxes on anything. Okay, so this page can trip up some people and get you errors. So where it says reconciled down here, this was my February report. However, I had to roll over here and put the same balance over here for March, because if this number and this number don't match, it won't say reconciled. And on your pages for reporting, it's going to say that the account is out of balance. Again, this is a quarterly report and we're reporting monthly. Over here, if your statement balance for December 31st, that's what you're putting here. Your ledger balance of December 31st, that's what you're putting here. These numbers do not change throughout the year. Please don't change them. Also on this page is where all of your signatories are going to be listed. If this, it's kind of screwy on when it wants to report that it's negative and give you a yellow tab, just kind of work with it. Go with Kingdom Financial Policy on when your signatories should update. If you have more than one account, there's several blocks down here for multiple accounts. Please list those there, as well as signatories for those accounts. Assets and inventory, i.e. you have crowns, you have trailers, you have large assets greater than $2,000 or were listed in your old assets page from the previous stuff. And I know in the previous one, it wasn't a value of over 2,000. So if that was listed in your asset inventory in your previous year's reports, it needs to go here. This is your depreciation page from the old reports. The budget tab, please fill out your budget tab. If your budget tab is done correctly, the rest of your report, the only thing you mess with throughout the year after that is your ledger and your accounts page, if your budget's done correctly. This is your budget page. If you do an event, your event name has to be in this unrestricted revenue side. It has to be there. I went ahead and just put our budget costs in there of what we say it's going to cost us, and then we fill it out from there. This is revenue from fundraising or anything non-event related. This is still on the budgets tab. Your officer expenses, I went ahead and also in here, so that on my ledger, I had a place to use it, is the 2 events we were planning on putting on this year, so that I have a ledger item for that budget method. Any supplies or admin/maintenance stuff is still on your budget page. This goes down to any regalia maintenance or that you're planning on buying. On your budgets tab at the very bottom, it breaks down your budget, which is cool. Here's your ledger tab. On this one is where you're going to be working all of your checks that you've written. One thing I went ahead and changed this on mine, where right now it says future. I changed that to now because I figured out that it kind of screws with the whole thing. This is where all of your income expense categories go. On the left, you can put the amount. Then you have your income or your expense category. If you have a profit split or if you have a cash advance like I do right here, you link it to what row it's from. And then whenever so you have your cash advance here, and then you have the cash advance returned. You need to link it to row 11 because that's where the cash advance was. Over here is what it was. Now, the cash advance, if you noticed, was 200. I returned 200 in the first split. In the second split, I put how much the receipts were and then what the expense was for. That way it breaks it down and it doesn't cause an issue. It will throw an error if your cash advance returned. If I would have put the 180 as my cash advance returned, it will throw an error. So for your cash advances, if you advanced 200 in your first split, you're going to put you returned 200 and link it to the row that it came from. And then in your second split, you're going to put how much was spent and what it was spent on. Third split and fourth split, use those if you needed it, i.e. wrote a cash advance for someone to go out and buy all the stuff for the activity. You wrote them $500. They spent 200 on food, 100 on just general supplies, and then 200 on something else. That's where you'll use your second, third, and fourth splits. This is your balance statement. This is the one of 2 pages in this report you will need to print for your monthly report. So you have your balance statement, you have your income statement. These are tables that you can use to just kind of look at stuff. This isn't necessarily anything that the local exchequers need to worry about. It's fun to look at and see what's going on with it, but this is more for the Kingdom Exchequer and Doomsday. Now, past those tabs, you have a tab called Supply. In that, all your stuff that's not an asset or a large ticket item, i.e. just your Exchequer stuff, your Knights Marshal stuff, all the things that make your group run that are not a depreciating asset. You can list them in here, where they're at, who has them, the last time that it was inventoried and you knew where it was, so that you can keep track of all your stuff. This is also another page that you can look at it, you can play around with it. If someone's like, hey, how much did we spend on that event? You can go in there and you can click on it and show which event it was, and it'll pull up all the expenses and incomes for that event. And you can give them exactly how much did that cost you. Same thing with this page, just a snapshot of your activities. When you look at it, if you have checks that are outstanding, it will be over on the left-hand side. Everything that's posted will show up on the right-hand side. Same thing with this page. It just shows funds being moved around. One thing I do like about this new report, if there is an error, it will have a yellow pop-up come up. Read the pop-up. It'll tell you where to go to fix the error that it's mad at right now. If that doesn't clear out the issue, it will pop up a new yellow tab and tell you where it's having an issue at next. Please follow your yellow icons in what you're at. Also, make sure that you are on the current version, which we are on the current version of H. There's a lot of errors with the old reports of how things happened. One thing we did figure out if you have an event that was prior year and you're needing to do that, one of the ways to fix the error is go into the first page of your summary page and write basically just a fund for whatever it was and put the amount that fund was, and that will clear out your error. Okay, and we managed to get through that in 15 minutes, so that is amazing. We can go ahead and stop the recording if you want, and I will gladly go over anything that someone has a question about. Okay. Tanya, what you got?
Could you go back one slide? I'm so sorry.
Which slide?
The last slide before questions.
Okay. Let me go back into that.
Sorry.
You're fine. Okay. I think this is the slide you were talking about. What question do you have over this one?
You were talking about if there was an issue in terms.
Oh, okay. So let me pull up my report and I'm going to cause an issue. All right. Okay. Start sharing. Window. Okay, so let's cause a problem. Oh, I'm going to put an icon. All right. So I have an error in row 22. So I need to go down and see what the error is. So my error is all transactions must have a date, and the transaction date must be in 2026, check row 22. So let's do 7/18/26. All right. So I still have an error in row 22, my first split. First split, add the number of items and item number from the assets inventory tab, item number column, and the next item would be 1. That's still causing an issue. Let's change what that is. See what that fixes. There we go. So I was having an issue with what the item was I was calling. That's probably because how I put it in the other part. But as you have these problems, it will tell you where to go. And if you go to where it's telling you to go, you can fix generally any issue in this form.
Okay,
Does
thank
that make
you.
sense?
Yep.
Does anybody else have any questions?
You cleared the wrong field.
Yep.
You got rid of the budget category on 21.
Oh, crap. Thank you. Go back to where it should have. Oh, Lord.
Undo is your friend.
Yep. I think it's having a problem because I'm trying to share it while doing corrections. There we go. All right. Any other questions or anybody having issues with something I can fix?
One piece of advice for everybody, do not copy and paste cells from one area to another or from one sheet to another. This thing is extremely sensitive when you go to copying cells from one place to another. But if you go and select the data, the text or the numbers that are in a cell, you can copy that successfully.
And we did have one issue where there was a couple of groups that society had given out how to jailbreak your report. Please, if you have that information, forget it. Don't jailbreak these things. It just jacks it up and makes it so much harder to figure out. Let me stop sharing this one, and I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint.
I'm going to say this, don't.
Let's go back to the PowerPoint, and then
I'm okay not jailbreaking. Can we at least see the formulas?
So you'd have to jailbreak it to get to the formula. Mm-hmm. But if you go to this one right here, and in the slideshow on the Exchequers page, it has that. Just follow the hyperlink. If you haven't already set up your Exchequer account on it, set up your Exchequer account. It's the society SharePoint, and in that they have what current version they're on, so you can download the current versions. Also, if you go to the Discord channel for Society Resources, you can ask questions in there. Society will get back with you. Other Exchequers will get back with you, and we can go from there to get everything. I see a hand up, but I've got it open in a share thing. So whoever that is, please ask your question.
It's Harold down in Finnegaff. How do we get them to consider a relatively sane change to the report form? We've got, right now it's set up so that you have to enter people and their contact info in many different places, and many times it's the same people being entered in many different places. There should be one list of people, and we should be able to set a tag that says you are a signer, or you are a payee, or a recipient, or a member of the finance committee. And that would populate the finance committee, the signatories, et cetera. And there would be one row, one tab of people available for all of that contact info. It is ridiculous to have to enter the same information on multiple tabs for the same people.
So the only thing that I'm noticing on it is you have your Exchequers tab, which that's kind of self-explanatory. Your financial committee, and then where else are you having?
Go over to accounts.
Yeah, that's your signatories.
And now you have to enter the same member information, the same expiration date. And so when somebody updates their membership, you've got to update it in 3 different places.
So for the legality of it, this is just, I know why they have it listed this way, because like for me, if you notice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatories, but over on my financial committee, I have 2 people, which is my seneschal and me. And then for my Exchequer, I just have me and my deputy. So the way they have it currently, it breaks it up into the legal aspects of what individual job are you doing.
Yeah, but what he's trying to say is it would be nice if it was one page and then you had a link where you could go, here's your information, and I need you to be on the signatory, I need you to be here at the Exchequer page, and I need you to be here on the financial committee page. Do you understand what it's saying?
I do,
And
but
also,
that will break very quickly if it's something that the computer's relying on it to move the information around.
and the other place that the names are used is on ledger and assets and inventory.
So ledger is just who you're writing checks to.
Correct.
There's no names for that.
Yeah, there is. Legal
Where?
name of the person or organization that you're writing the check to.
Well, yeah, you have to do that on any ledger.
Right. And if you go over to assets and inventory, take a look at that info.
That is going to be your assets, and then who currently is watching the item.
Guardian email, Guardian phone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I copy and paste that stuff for, like, in the supply section. I just copied and pasted this information down into it so that I didn't have to write it over multiple times. I understand that it's annoying, but it's kind of there for a purpose to tell me, okay, I have all of the Exchequer stuff. My Herald has all the heraldry stuff. And I'm still waiting on my other people to give me what they have, because this is a new thing for the inventory. I get it's annoying. Tanya?
Hi. So I have an item that was on my outstanding page that finally got resolved in the ledger, but it's
Mhm.
still on my outstanding page. I don't know how to get rid of it. 'Cause I thought once it was received in the ledger that it would go away from the outstanding tab.
Okay. Do you know how to screen share?
I do.
If you will share it real quick, we can take a look at it right now. Yes, please. Thank you.